Hello, and welcome back to Crimson's Outpost. Last time, if you remember, we set up this automated wheat farm. It's chugging along slowly, not producing fertilizer as much as I like, but that'll improve once I get more animals, and I can pump more into that. Took a little bit to get that system working correctly, but it's done. So, I'm going to find a village. I said I was going to for the last couple episodes. I'm not putting it off anymore, and I'm going to find one. So, just to make sure that I can find my way back, make a nice little, maybe not that bright. Outpost. Using a waypoint, using Ray's minimap. Boom. Outpost. So I'm going to go explore, and I will find a village, and when I find one, I'll come back and let you know about it. Okay, well, that took a while. Finally found one. It's over a kilometer away. Wow. Well, I need a better way to get back here from over there. You know, flying, it's not horrible, but it's a pain. Now, if you remember that little rift door thing I found out is actually part of a mod called Dimensional Doors. And what this does allows you to create little pocket dimensions using this, a dimensional door. It is simply just a, it's an ender eye surrounded by two iron doors. Slap it down. Come on. There we go. Little dimensional door. Open and close. Go inside. Now, one thing I found out is before you go inside one of these, you have to make sure you don't have night vision on. For some reason, having night vision on makes it that you can't see anything inside. I don't know why. It's something to do with the mod and the way Minecraft does night vision. So, make sure your night vision is turned off. Ugh, this guy looks horrible. And then go inside. And you have your own little pocket dimension. You can see here, you can just add stuff to the floor. Actually, let me go back out here for a second. I'm going to just, dig up some sand, just for the hell of it. That way you can see this floor. If you can put blocks down to replace it. Kind of cool, huh? But the neat thing you can do is you can actually use what's called a rift signature, and it will let you make a rift linking one location to the other. So I'm just going to put this sand down here just for the moment. Now if I take this rift signature and link it to this block, this rift signature now remembers this specific block in this specific dimension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the outpost and use this at the outpost to make another door, and I'll connect it with the dimension door. So when I get back, I will show you. Okay, back at the outpost. And what I'm going to do is, where do I want to set this up? That's a good question. You know what? I'll set it like right here. Make a little building later to surround it, but I'll set it right here. So you use the rift thing, and it creates a rift signature, which then if you put a dimension door in the same spot, you'll see the rift gets absorbed into the door, and now, oh, look at that! Right back here. I'm just going to put an extra block here so I know this is back to the outpost. And this is the one at the village. So if I pop here, I'm back to the village. Pretty neat, huh? Eventually these villagers, hopefully, if they have what I need... Where'd all the villagers go? It's daytime. Oh, there's some of them. Are you what I need? No. What about you? Do you have... No. Aha. Excellent. This is a page from Mistcraft. This is something eventually I want to use. Why are they all in here? That's weird. One of these should be... one of these should be a Mistcraft merchant. I think he's over here, but for some reason, they're all in the same spot. Yeah, there he is. Takes lots of emeralds, so... I'm actually going to... You're not the one I need, are you? No, okay. Close the door. Lock them in. Made sure they're safe from anything that might come after them. And we don't need any zombie invasions or anything ruining my my village that I found. So that's cool. We've got this set up. We'll eventually move the villagers, maybe even into the dimension itself. But what you can do with these dimensions is you can actually, if you put another dimension door down here, like if I say put another dimension door here, it'd create another pocket dimension, and you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. You don't want to go too deep, though. Bad things happen if you go deep. Supposedly, you end up in limbo. Never been there, don't really want to go there, but I have this little pocket dimension set up now. So I could store all sorts of junk in here. That's pretty cool. But it's a quick way back to the outpost from the village, which is nice. So, I'm just going to build a little room for that dimension door. You can see it sitting right there. And I will be back, and then I'm not quite sure what we're going to do next. But when I figure it out, I'll let you know. Okay, I'm back. I've done a little bit of work to my little pocket dimension. Covered up my doorway. Yes, I went there. And as you can see, I've just kind of spruced up the place. I'm adding a fake skyline, because unfortunately, it's all black. So a little fake skyline out of wool, some grass, a lake. Yeah, it looks kind of nice. And lots of room for more doors. Fun. And eventually I will take these villagers and move them back towards the outpost. You know, it's experimental after all. So the wheat farm is still chugging away nicely. Getting fertilizer. Lots of wheat. One thing I realized while I was watching this as I was working on the dimensional door area is this machine, the harvester, produces sludge. I didn't realize that. Now, if you remember, we have a whole bunch of sludge over there. But with the harvester producing sludge, I had to figure out what to do with it, because it was clogging up the machine. So there is something called a sludge boiler. It's pretty simple. Some furnaces, buckets, machine frame, redstone cells, plastic. What it does is it takes the sludge, and if you power it, it burns the sludge and turns it into dirt or clay or sand. Rarely you'll get soul sand and mycelium, stuff that's found in mushroom biomes. The thing about the sludge boiler is if you're within 3 blocks of it, it does poison and hunger damage to you, which is not cool. So I have it buried under the ground here. Yeah, I think it's about here. It's 4 or 5 blocks down, so it's not going to do anything to me. And I have it pumping into this chest. So as you can see, I've got some sand, some dirt, and some clay. It's nice, it's, you know, little freebies. Add another lamp over here. So that's not bad. Now, I think, roughly going over my checklist, I'm getting to the point where everything seems self-sufficient. I also turned the cart farm off, the tree farm off. The cart's blade broke, and I didn't want to repair it. I didn't need to, because if you look, I've got a ton of wood. It's 631. Actually, that's not too much at the moment. And, you know, 10,000 charcoal. Yeah, I don't have a lever. Otherwise, otherwise I would turn this off. Actually, you know what? I can if I go and just kill that. That way, it will finish just the steam engines are off, because the magmatic engines are keeping this fully powered. I haven't had any issues with power, so I may actually go grab a couple diamonds, repair the cart blade, and let it go just so I can stock up on wood, for building purposes. I'm also getting to the point where I'm going to need to extract my experience again. We'll get that. We'll actually sleep through the night. There we go. Hi, spider. Goodbye, spider. This railgun is really fun. I have found out while doing some nether farming, do not shoot the railgun in rapid succession. As you'll notice, it gives you heat. Nether, you have a lot less heat dissipation, so you'll catch fire. Okay, charcoal, just to get it up and running. Like I said, I disabled it, so... And it's repairing. Stock it back up. High priority, low priority. So now that the blade is repairing, it will start cutting wood again once it's repaired up. There we go. Excellent. So now it can start cutting up wood again. Cool. So like I was saying, I think my next goal is going to be a little project out here on the ocean. I'm going to get ready to take off into space. So far, everything I've done is really getting preparations ready for my space travels. I've got a power system set up, which I can remotely access using the energy tesseracts. I've got an automated crop system, and I know it works because in space there's no oxygen. You need oxygen. Now, that either comes from trees and leaf blocks, like over here, or in some of the newer versions of Galacticraft, which is the mod that gives space travel, you can use crops. It'll take any type of crop, carrot, potato, wheat, whatever you want, and it will let you use that for oxygen. Now, do note the current version of TechIt, the most recent version, I think is 1.1.5, has an older version of Galacticraft that does not allow you to use crops for oxygen. I think it's running version 309 of Galacticraft. If you go to the Galacticraft website, you can actually download the most recent version for 1.5.2 of Minecraft, which is version 410. And 410 does allow you to use crops for oxygen. The problem is crops and leaves, when Galacticraft uses them, cause them to decay. And they'll be destroyed and you have to replant them. Hence why I wanted to get an auto farm set up to make sure that it works. I've also got my building material generator here, the igneous extruder. A lot of stuff is going to be built using cobblestone because it's cheap. And as you can see, I've got a ton of cobblestone. But I'm probably going to bring one set of these up to the moon just for building purposes. So far, the only planets which exist in Galacticraft are the moon, and you can make a space station, which requires you to build it all yourself. You have to have some materials when you go up and stuff like that. So what I'm going to be doing in the meantime is I'm going to build a little launch platform and work area over there. Over on the water, That way it's off to the side, like like most good rocket launch facilities are. And I'll start setting up the stuff I need to build a rocket and eventually get into space. So that is my next goal. One thing I did find out is there's a lot of different black and white color blocks. You've seen the white gravel that I use for my walkways, and the white smooth stone, which is used for my animal pens over there, and also the glowstone bricks as well. There's a block called a paved blackstone, which I think will look really cool for using with my launching area. This is simply, it's 8 stone slabs surrounding a piece of ink, squid ink, black dye basically. And 8 stone slabs and a black dye gets you 8 of these. So they're not that difficult to make. You just have to have smooth stone and some black dye, which I happen to have an abundant squid population off my coast. So I'm going to get that set up, and then I will get the first step of materials that you will need to go into space. One little bonus I'm going to show you before I go is you'll see here on my inventory, this is where my power armor is, but you'll notice this other row. This is for Galacticraft stuff. You're in space, you need a space suit. So, glass helmet, some oxygen gear, and some oxygen tanks. Now these do actually show up on your inventory. Not your inventory, your character model. So I'm going to quickly make the oxygen mask. It's quite simply, it's an iron helmet surrounded by glass. Okay, it's not an iron helmet surrounded by glass. Oxygen mask. Oh, glass panes, excuse me. I was close. Iron helmet, glass panes, haha. And you drop this in your little spot, and whee! I've got a little oxygen helmet on. Now there is a mod on the power suit which you can get an airtight seal, which I could install. And you know what? It's a block of glass. I might as well anyway, but I like the way that the oxygen helmet looks on my head. So there's some other materials which I will get set up, and like I said, I will get a launching platform built up. And then we'll start building a rocket and all the materials I'm going to need for when I go into space. So that is my goal between this episode and the next one. So when I come back, we'll start learning some rocket science. Okay, like, share, favorite, all the normal stuff. Thanks for watching, and have fun.